Hey everybody, some Gadget Guy here, and today we are taking a look at the Martian Notifier. This is another smartwatch from Martian, and this is something of a homecoming for me, as one of the very first smartwatches I ever reviewed was the Martian Passport, but continues in the tradition of offering up a chronograph-style watch face with a tiny little LED readout down here at the bottom of the screen. And getting into a couple quick comparisons, here's the Martian Notifier next to my Samsung Gear 2. The notifier next to my OG plastic pebble. A little side action there. Next to one of my all-time favorite watches, the Qualcomm Talk. And next to the watch I most recently reviewed, the Asus ZenWatch. Run an Android Wear Lollipop. And I think it's from here that we'll start by saying you can see that the Notifier is actually kind of a thicker watch body. For as simplified and as pared down as it is next to the Martian Passport, the Notifier gives up the microphone and speaker that we find on the Passport. It's definitely a larger watch, especially once you factor in all of the surrounding plastic and rubber. Walking around the watch, it's a very simple affair. We've got a little crown right here, which we can use to adjust the time for the chronograph. This bottom button is going to toggle us through time and different settings. We can turn on a light if we want to activate a little LED from the watch's front face. We have a do not disturb mode for when we're trying to fall asleep. There's a camera mode where we can use this as a remote shutter. There's a find phone feature, which will turn on my HTC speakers. Nice handy little way to track down your phone if you ever lose it. And then in our setup options, we can change what language the menus come in, how we want to display the date. There's a cool leash feature as this connects to your phone over Bluetooth. If your watch or phone are ever separated, it'll set off a little vibration and a notification on your phone. And lastly, hitting this top button on the watch will initiate a voice dial request on your phone. There is no microphone built into the watch, so you don't actually perform the voice action from your watch. It's just a handy little shortcut to start it off on your phone.
Say call, followed by a name or a number.
Now, there's nothing to speak of on the back of the watch, though I am happy to see that Martian has included these little quick-release spring-loaded pins to pull the watch strap. Though seeing as how the sides of the watch actually contour into the watch band, it might be kind of tricky finding a watch band that doesn't force the watch body to just sit on the top of your wrist like a lump. That is actually one of my favorite improvements over the Martian Passport, is how well the sides of the Notifier contour around the wrist. Under this little protective flap, if I can get a fingernail under it, there we go. This is the port cover for the micro USB charge socket. Now, I want to applaud Martian for trying to use a standard connector here to recharge their watch. With every other smartwatch that we've got, we either have some kind of wireless cradle or some sort of dock or connector or pins, which can make charging your watch on the go a little bit more difficult. The problem with Martian's implementation here, though, is there's a lot of extra plastic around this port cover. That does help with a little additional water resistance. I would not say this is a waterproof watch. It's probably a light splash-proof experience, but the cable that Martian provides to actually use that charge port is so much longer than a traditional micro USB connector, this might as well be considered a proprietary connector, as most standard micro USB cables are not going to fit into this port to recharge the watch. Just so you can see how much longer this connector is, here is my Galaxy Note 4 charger, and here is the Martian Notifier charger. Throwing it on my wrist, it definitely looks like a sportier, more active watch. I don't think I would put this up there as being sort of a dress-up evening kind of timepiece. Throw on a nice pair of jeans and some decent kicks, and this watch should fit right in. And just taking a quick tour around the app on your phone gives you all kinds of controls for this watch. You can set the vibration intensity for your alerts. You can control exactly what apps are going to send alerts. This is actually one of my favorite phone layouts for making sure you have exactly which apps and services are sending notifications to your wrist. I really like Martian's implementation of this feature. You can scroll through everything on your phone. From your phone, you can also set alarms if you need to set a reminder, you just want to make sure you wake up at a certain time. We can choose how we want to display the time if we want a world clock from that clock view on the watch, along with today's weather and the temperature. Some really basic setup options, turning on or off the LED, enabling the leash function, how we want to display the date, how we want the time to be displayed, and then also the crawler for as each notification comes in on the watch face. It's sort of like a little ticker tape readout, and we can choose exactly how long we want that scroll effect to last. And once you have the app installed, you get this handy little notification here in your app drawer just letting you know how much charge is left on the Notifier. One of the nice things about a product being this simple is that you get multiple days of battery life. I ran this for 4 days straight before I got a little twitchy and decided to recharge it. Not to mention that when the battery powering the Bluetooth smart features dies, you still have a regular watch. It's still perfectly capable of displaying the time. Unlike many other smartwatches that once that battery dies, it's basically just an inert lump on your wrist. Now, one other important update on the Notifier over the Passport that I used to use is a 2-button press that gets you back through a list of past notifications. This is actually one of my biggest, crankiest pet peeves about Android Wear, is that once you're done with a notification, it's really hard to go back and find it. It's gone from your watch, it's gone from your phone, but on the Martian, we hit 2 buttons, and now we can go back through and see previous notifications. Being able to double press and then click back through older notifications is extremely handy. And really, folks, that's about it. The Martian Notifier represents one of the simplest of the smart, wearable, notification-based devices we've ever reviewed here on this channel. There are no voice features, there are no speakerphone features, there's no pedometer, there are no fitness trackers. This watch is honed in on one primary feature after displaying the time, and that is giving you notifications from your phone to your wrist. At a street price of $99 though, the argument for the Martian Notifier gets a little tricky. If this is the style of watch that really appeals to you, then I think this is an easy product to recommend. But for those of you who are wanting to play with some of the smarter features of some of our smarter watches, it faces intense competition even from plastic pebbles. And it's within that $50 territory of some fancier smartwatches with more techie features. So all that being said, this is a trickier product for me to just outright recommend. You really want to know what you're getting into, and you really want to be focused on a simple experience. If that sounds like your jam, then I think this is going to be right up your alley. And I've got to send a quick shout out to my pals at AT&T for hooking me up with a display unit to review. They've been really getting after some wearable tech, and so I've been really grateful that they've been sending some of it my way so that I can share these reviews with you fine folks. And I'll of course leave some links down below this video so you can catch more information on Martian products and where you can shop the Martian Notifier. As always, folks, thanks so much for watching my videos, and be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to catch more reviews like these. And I would not be able to continue producing these reviews if you all weren't out there sharing them with your family, friends, and on social media. So keep bringing more cool people to the party. Hit that thumbs up button, and I will catch you all on the next review.